kind of inspiration in writing for the first time is how do we write a melody? Because that's kind of a hard thing for people. And so I like to think of it as motivically based, or is something that's like within a particular mode. And so in this, I'll go back over to the piano. Ooh. Get out of the frame. And in this, I was like, how am I going to write a Lydian melody? Hey, that's a cool melody. And that's how I wrote it. Done. That's nice. Literally, there's not one measure in this entire movement that is not based in Lydian mode, but it sounds so exciting and uplifting with just that raised fourth. And the piece ends by, as in if you're having a flying dream, oftentimes you find yourself splatting into the ground and waking up. And so I end with these big diminished seventh chords, and then finally a big gliss to a boom, and then you wake up.
Nice.
Yeah, so that was literally my first attempt, and a lot of these pieces that we're going to play tonight represent like my particular journey in composition and where I was in life and what I was listening to. So a lot of these hold really special kind of importance to me, especially my first one. It was a lot of fun. The other thing that we do is we workshop everything that we play. So we either, especially since we're across the country from each other now, we're broadcasting this live from Missouri, but from the University of Central Missouri, go Mules. And so since we're across the country from each other, we can't get together and workshop like we used to do, which is we write something, we literally walk down the hill from where we lived in Iowa, go to the music building and sit, and one of us play horn, the other play piano, and we change things until we really liked it.
Right.
And that was a great sounding board for both of us that we still use. So across the country now from each other, we'll send each other music all the time and change things as we see fit and as we give each other suggestions. But that was where I was my first time I wrote.
Nice.
That was way too long. I'm going to be quiet now.
Well, also, just hey, everyone that joined since last time I said hey, everybody, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for watching.
I also just realized that the YouTube stream, I didn't actually start it. It was just sitting there. So if you want to go over to the YouTube stream, which is the Cor Moto.
Look, now we have 2 viewers.
Yeah, now we have 2 viewers. It's a much better angle, and it's better sound, too.
Who are our 2 viewers?
Check out there. I don't know if you know.
They can comment. They should comment.
If you're watching on the YouTube and you want to comment, feel free, because we want to know who you are. So
also, this is our official Cor Moto drink of choice.
We are not sponsored by Mountain Dew, but it is.
But we'd like to be.
Yeah, we would. Yes, we would like to be. So if you're listening, Mountain Dew. I don't think we invited Mountain Dew to the stream, but oh well.
We should have.
Hey, Steven. How's it going? Hey, Gary. Okay, so the next piece on the program, speaking about firsts, I guess it's a great segue because it's my piece, Episodes, for horn and piano, and there's the opening.
Hey, Drew.
So the opening page looks like New Beginnings. Show it to all the different computers that are going along.
I didn't show any of my piece.
Yeah, and this piece is a 7-movement piece, and it was one of, actually, no, yeah, it was the first piece I wrote for horn and piano. And it's a piece that I wrote just shortly after I started studying with Paul Bassler down at University of Florida, who, for me, was just tremendously influential in numerous ways, but not to mention just composition alone, guiding me in that regard. And this was the product of some of those a lot of those early comp lessons episodes. Like I said, 7-movement piece, and it's kind of cyclical in nature. So the way that the piece begins, there's motivic fragments that then come in the last movement. And the way that I kind of saw this piece when I was developing it was, of course, the title Episodes just means that there's lots of shorter episodic parts of the piece. And for me, the story that I'm telling, and I don't typically like to put big program notes because I'd rather have you, the listener, kind of make up the story for yourself rather than me tell you what you should think. But just so you know what I was thinking of, this is essentially a person's life, a life cycle. So, and it starts with New Beginnings, progresses to Child's Play, which is not the horror film, because there is
Chucky.
Yeah, not that one, but like actual just children playing. And it's mischievous nature, something faster, something just more fun. And then third movement is Amour, which is just another way of saying falling in love. So we go slow, fast, slow. Fourth movement, back to fast, because variation is great in music. It keeps the listener engaged, and it just keeps the performer more interested. So fourth movement is drive. And this is kind of that stage in life where sometimes if you don't stop to look around, you can just kind of work, fast-paced, just kind of going through the middle part of one's life. And so there's a real driving nature. 6/8 is a great time signature to just have a natural energy and kind of forward momentum. So that's what I chose for that. The next movement here, we're back to slow. So it's reflection. And this one is that part in life where you're looking back and you're saying, like, did I do everything? Was it worth it? You have uncertainty. So this piece starts off very minor, very modal, and by the end, it's major. So, for me, that was, yes, there is a happy ending. But not before that moment of pure elation or joy. No. Which is, I think this is the shortest of all the movements, and it's also at 6/8, but because of that energy that naturally comes from 6/8. And this has that very Lydian sound as well, like Drew had in one of his pieces, which for me, Lydian mode is more major than major, essentially. It's like the happiest of all. So it's that sharp 4 sound. It's really great.
The best
it really is. So, I mean, because major and minor are like chocolate and vanilla. They're great. But why would you have that if you could have like a mint chocolate chip?
That's a good way to put it.
That's, I mean, yeah, or like a root beer float,
Or like almonds and pistachios, spicy currant ice cream. Ew. Sorry.
No, not that one. Unless you like it. Then you are free to like that. So, and then finally, the last movement here is called Resolve. And it's just kind of a coda in many ways, kind of tying a couple themes together and bringing the piece back, bringing back the motivic material from movement 1 into movement 7. And that's really the whole piece. And it's, like I said, just like your suite was your first piece, this was really my first piece for horn and piano. And so it's that kind of special thing for me.
If I can plug like how fun, first of all, it's just a blast to play because it's so simple sounding, the pieces. Obviously, you put so much time into it, and it went through, I think you said, a lot of revisions.
Oh, yeah. Well, any composer will say that the piece is never done. It's just where it is at that moment.
Right. And so in this piece, if I can plug it, man, it's the best part about it is that these movements are short, and there are quite a few of them, but these movements, like, they're 1 page long. Like, it goes immediately to the second movement, and it's accessible for anyone. It sounds good for any level of player, which I think we both try to do, is we try to make our music really accessible for people, not only because we want a lot of people to be able to play it, but we want a lot of people to be able to enjoy it as well. So we could do like the crazy whiz bang, like write all of the things and in music for like the highest level of virtuosity, which we have done before. We've written through some really amazing players. Like I've had the chance to write for Radovan Blatkovich and Bob Ward before, and like we've said on one of our podcasts, we could have written crazy things, but I could have, but I didn't, because I really wanted it to be something that others could perform while they played the snot out of it. When I wrote a 2-horn and brass choir piece called Radiance for 2 horns, they played the snot out of it, but I wanted it to be really accessible, so I didn't write as hard as I possibly could. And you've written for some awesome people too.
Yeah, and I mean, there's a lot of great composers that write really technically difficult music, and I'm happy to let them do that. I'm happy to, that's their game.
Because I couldn't do that at all. I couldn't.
Also, because then I wouldn't be able to play my own music.
I can't play my own music.
Yeah. So that brings us Unless, and if you guys ever have any questions during this, please just pop them in the chat window. We'd be happy to make this into a conversation.
Like, we still have zero idea who our YouTube viewers are, and there are a few of you.
Well, that's okay.
So,
maybe they want to stay anonymous.
Yeah, you can, I guess. But it's if you have questions like about composition, about horn, about anything about us, please ask. Like I said, we'd like this to be kind of conversational. Has anyone asked any questions on your stream?
No questions. No.
Okay. Well, anyway.
Maybe it's because we just explained everything so well.
Maybe we're that succinct.
No, that's clearly not the case.
Nope. Nope. All right. What's next?
Oh, Brent Shires wants caramel or caramel, depending on how you say it, and sea salt music. That is an excellent choice of flavors. I wonder what that would be. That would probably be something slow with a little bit of zing on it, probably.
Let's see. He said, read it again. What kind?
Caramel and sea salt music.
I like sea salt, like salt and vinegar chips. That's what I think of. That sounds.
But not like a chocolate with caramel and.
No. Well, I've never tasted it, but I can't imagine mixing salt. Well, salt and chocolate. I've never actually.
You gotta try it.
That.
Okay. It actually works really well.
Okay.
Yeah.
I believe you.
So music.
What's next in our concert program is a piece by me that is actually completely new. It's been performed once, and it was written for one of my students. Actually, a lot of these, or let's see, two of them that are being played have been written for my students. This one that I'm about to talk about is called Constellations for Horn and Piano. It's 3 movements, and it's one of my longer works that I've written. But it was written for one of my seniors, at Liberty, where I teach. I do them just as my gift to them for graduating and for sticking with me for a number of years and putting up with me. I write them something to play on their last recital they're giving. So I wrote this piece for one of my seniors who is student teaching right now, Mark McDonald, and he's teaching. He's starting strings this week.
Oh,
and he says and I don't think he says he's not a very good string player. I was a terrible string player. Like, there was no one worse.
Just make sure he doesn't try to tune half or 3/4 size viola as a violin.
I was,
because that won't work.
It
doesn't work. Trust me.
I was like the worst string player. Anyway, so this piece is called Constellations, and my main goal in this one is to write something simple and with a very accessible piano part and horn part, because I don't know, for me, I find that writing simply is really tough.
It can be.
I think
to be simple but interesting.
But to find and to strike that perfect balance, because one of the things we learned, we learned from Jeff Agrell, was that the perfect music, I can't remember when he said this, but he said the perfect music strikes that perfect balance between ridiculously spontaneous, like completely unpredictable, and like mind-numbingly dull and boring. Because you've got to keep people's attention, but you can't weird them out with, this is random and I have no idea what's going on.
Right.
So I think that's really hard to do, like we were saying, in simple music. And by simple, I mean in a contained range with not as much technicality. And so that was a great challenge to write that way. But this is 3 movements. They all continually get faster. In these, the first one's title is Lyra. The constellations are all kind of constellations that I looked up and thought they fit the character of the piece, and that means lyrical, right? So it just means this really nice, pretty lyric piece. Someone said something. We'll get to that in a second.
Oh yeah.
Okay. The second movement is called Eros, and Eros translates. It was originally Aerostaticus, which I thought was the coolest word, but then he said that was too long and stupid. So
Aerostaticus.
I think that's such a cool word.
It just takes up more ink.
There you go. And so it was shortened to Eros, and Eros is a hot air balloon ride. And I thought one of the easiest way to create that feeling of uplifting hot air balloon is to ride a waltz. And I've never ridden a waltz before, and it was so fun, and riding in 3/4 and doing this. So I wrote this really nice, light feeling waltz. And the last one, the last movement is a furious and fast 6/8 movement called volano, which originally the constellation is called volans, which means a flying fish, which reminds me of Zelda, the Link's Awakening. Did you ever play Link's Awakening on Coiled Island?
I didn't get that one, no.
Oh, we're Zelda fans. You're a Zelda fan. Please let us know, because that is some of the greatest music there has ever been. Anyway, but Volano is in this really furious and just wicked 6/8. And even though I wrote a simpler, definitely the horn part is very accessible. And if you tune into our stream tomorrow night, you'll be able to listen to that. But the piano parts, mine tend to be on the harder side. And so, but this one is very accessible with just notes going the entire time. But one of my things that I like to do in my music is I like to write a lot of stepwise motion, because I'm an okay pianist-ish, but I don't like to move far. He likes to jump around, like the song. I like to stay in stepwise motion because I just can't. I'm not that good.
Well, I think anyway, our piano parts, at least my piano parts, are kind of limited by my own ability. Definitely. And I know, we both essentially we kind of practice piano because we want to get better. But so I think both of our music, the piano parts, kind of develop or have been developing over the years as just we get more proficient at it too. So that's kind of a funny thing. You write piano parts piano licks that you can play well, and I write easy piano parts because I can't play any of it well.
And if you're with us sometime, ask us to play you the blooper reel of when we hilariously try and trade piano parts. And horn parts not so bad. Piano parts though, it's a hysterical moment. Anyway, but that piece is completely new, and we only got to put it together in the past day.
18 hours
in the last, so we got a little bit of rehearsal on it, and so we're gonna spend some more time on it this evening. But that's just kind of what we do. I've sent James the horn part and the piano part, so he kind of knows how it is, but it's really different when you put it together with people. And so we've had a good time putting it together. It's been a lot of fun. And for people who are just joining us, we're going through our concert program, kind of talking about music that we're going to play and perform, and kind of our compositional process of where we are. This is, I think, at least the one I just talked about, Constellations, is probably the newest piece of the program.
Yeah, it definitely is.
So it's going to be fun. And also our giveaway is coming. We'll announce a time for that, where a lucky viewer is going to have something special written for them and dedicated to them from us, something co-written, which we think is kind of fun. And
we're looking forward to actually writing it.
Yeah, because co-writing something is going to be super fun. If you guys have any questions at any time, please let us know. And there is one over here.
One question, and that's
who is it?
Oh, it's Corinne.
Hey, Corinne.
How's it going? So, who do you guys think writes the most awesome parts for horn in more contemporary orchestra music?
Ooh, contemporary.
First, we'd have to, I guess, define what the time range of contemporary is.
What is contemporary?
What is orchestral music? Because, do we branch that out into, say, like film scores? Because I would naturally, of course, go to, of course, the one and only John Williams. But then again, he's been doing that for about 50 years.
I want to know what people. I want to know what people think is contemporary, because I would say contemporary. Corinne. I want to know what Corinne thinks is contemporary.
Or what do other people that are listening, watching?
What is contemporary?
Who's writing the best horn parts these days in orchestra music? 1950 onward. Oh, okay. Wow, that's a big range.
I'd have to go back and say Williams. You already said it, but there's just so many good licks that it's just so many.
I would say Mahler in a Time Capsule. Just so he teleported to the future, and he's riding somewhere, and they're probably good.
What if we branch that out? What if we backdated her question a little and said, who's written the best horn parts in orchestra so far?
Oh, Wow. Well, we just read down the list of essentially like the top orchestral auditions, and it would be all of those parts essentially.
Ugh, some of those are not fun to play.
Yeah.
Let's be real. Some of those are not. Some of them are fun,
Right.
like in context.
Right. Right.
Chunk 5 is fun in context on an
It is.
audition.
Yeah. It loses a little bit, but
Let's see. Paul over
Oh,
here
Hazel.
said Williams and Michael.
Giacchino.
Yeah,
Yeah. Film score junkies. I mean, I'm a film score junkie.
he's a film score junkie.
And if you listen to
yeah.
my music, you could probably tell it's like, oh, I've heard that before. Oh, this guy must listen to film scores and then steal. I mean, use as inspiration many of those parts. So,
Yeah.
but then again, great composers don't try to reinvent the wheel, or inventors, like, you don't need to reinvent the wheel, you just repurpose it.
Yeah.
And music writing is sometimes the same way. And like you said, who you are as a composer, and if you want to try it yourself, really is who you are and what you listen to. So your musical voice is essentially a combination of all of your musical experiences, and particularly what you like. So,
And I mean, like I've already said, when I write, and I think James is too, when we're writing, we definitely draw inspiration from what we're listening to and what we're playing at the time. And
Mhm.
you know, and like he said, that's how you find your sound and your original kind of voice. We apparently have an issue with
the chat on
the chat
YouTube.
on YouTube.
Uh-oh. Where did it go?
We have an issue. Guys, we are technologically, well, he is crazy technologically capable. I am not. And that is just how things are going. Is it something weird?
I don't know.
It says, okay.
We've never done the Google Hangout thing, so I wouldn't know how to troubleshoot it.
I don't even know.
So, Ricardo, if you're listening on Google Chat, and you can get over to Facebook, chat seems to be working great there. So, I wonder why it's not. I don't know. Maybe I need to enable it or something like that. Anyway, should we talk about some music?
Go ahead.
Okay.
Yes, sorry.
What's next?
I
think, is it Equinox?
That's nice that you played it at the beginning. Okay. Oh, he's commenting a lot.
Oh, yeah.
So we need to figure that out. Okay.
Yeah, we will.
You go. I'll look and see what's going on.
Is this the next piece that we're doing?
Equinox? Yeah, Equinox is next.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the next piece on our program is Equinox. And that's a fairly recent piece. As you can see, it was just written last year. And the kind of way that this ties in with the last piece that I played is that I wrote this piece for Paul Bassler. And just to predate this piece, there's another piece I wrote called Solstice, which I've been very fortunate to have several people play that. Here that there are people playing that, around, and I played it at a couple workshops myself. Solstice was a single movement piece for horn and piano, a couple contrasting themes, and that was written for Wayne Liu. And I wanted to write a sister piece to Solstice, and this is what came out of it, Equinox. It's a single movement piece, horn and piano.
That's what it said.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know. We're just trying to figure out
Trying to
the
figure
Google
out.
chat thing.
Yeah.
So, again, in terms of accessibility, the horn part for this, I think the lowest note. Well, I know the highest note is a G on top of the staff, and the lowest note I think is probably a G, either an A or a G below the staff. So, range-wise, it's not too bad. Most everything is slurred. A lot of this is approached by stepwise motion. And it's just some contrasting themes. I think the whole piece is maybe 5-6 minutes, something like that. So, and then the Equinox, both the Solstice and Equinox are having to do with various times during the year that are usually the longest or the shortest days. And at least in the fall season or winter season, when that comes around, there's a certain kind of light in the sky during that time of year. It's just really a beautiful kind of color and feeling.
Got it.
Oh, you got the chats.
Got it. Okay,
Awesome.
so anyone on YouTube, we're good. I got your comments. We're
Cool.
good.
So that for me guides a lot of my composition, at least initially, like Drew was talking about, one of the best things to do when you start writing is to set some limitations, make some decisions on what you want to do. Whether that's making limitations like you said, this is going to be in this key, this is going to be in this meter, this is going to be for this number of instruments, this is going to be the level at which I'm writing the piece. Other limitations could simply be, this is the mood of this piece, or this is the title of this piece. Sometimes a great title will write the whole piece for you.
Absolutely.
You have a very evocative title, like, I don't know,
ballad, dirge, funeral.
Yes. I am late for work, blues. There you go. You've written the whole piece. It involves honking, 12-bar blues format, and
honking.
the sound of an electric razor or something. I don't know.
And doing your makeup in the car.
Yes. Let your imagination run wild. But other than that, modally, I think it shifts around. It's got some Lydian. It has some major, minor. I think this also has a little bit of Dorian and a little bit of, actually, I don't know what the mode would be called, but essentially it's a major tetrachord, but then has flat 6, flat 7, 1. So if I go play this kind of sound, so you can have major 1s, and you have minor 4s. So it kind of has a unique duality of major and minor to it.
Ricardo has a question.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm done talking about this piece. And also, real quick, too, I think we should say, if people are interested in music, where to find it. I know Episodes was through R.M. Williams,
Yes.
assuming that they're shipping things these days. And Equinox is through Veritas, which is a Wayne Lewis company. And then your music is available.
The suite is available through me, and so is Constellations. Peregrination, that we're going to talk about in just a minute, is available through Veritas.
Mm-hmm.
And
I think the full name is Musica Veritas, right?
is that it?
Yeah.
Veritas. I mean, if you Google Veritas Music Publishing, it comes up.
Right.
So there. Ricardo, we'll get to your question in a second because I got it.
Okay, actually, well, do you want to go right to this question?
Okay, there we go. Ricardo says, do you think on the titles first, or do you fight to find the titles later? That is a fantastic question, because titles are my kryptonite, and I am terrible at titles. So what I end up doing, which I did for my first unaccompanied solo I ever wrote, I went to random title generator on the internet.
That's right, you did.
And I just put in a thing that says, give me a phrase, boop, and it gave me The Luck of Dreams. It's the worst title ever. It's just the worst. Actually, it kind of fits it. It's cute. It's a terrible title.
No.
Anyway, so, but titles, I usually actually end up coming with them last. I have an idea, like you were saying, a title totally shapes the mood.
It can.
It can shape the mood and like the feeling of the piece. But I usually have that kind of sense of feeling as I'm going into it. And so at the end of it, like with the next piece I'm going to talk about called Peregrination. Peregrination means a journey, specifically traveled on foot, but a very epic kind of journey. And I wanted the piece to sound something like an adventure. And so I thought adventure or journey or expedition or something sounded a little too general. And so I went to the thesaurus and I was just like, give me some words, some synonyms for journey. And peregrination popped up and I was like, I have never heard that word before. Boom. That was it. Yeah. So a lot of times I think of it last. And I relate it to the mood or sense of what I've been writing, like the feeling. Mm-hmm. So that was a great question. What about you?
It really depends. I think a lot of the times I'll have a place, like a title that's a stand-in, and that's more kind of mood or emotion that I'm going for. And then, funny enough, I'll go to the thesaurus too, and find a more interesting way or a really cool sounding word. One of my favorites was a horn choir piece I have called Halcyon. And I think I wrote the piece before I finished the title. And so Halcyon, I just typed in, well, what's the mood of this piece? It's happy. Okay, so I can't name the piece happy because
then Pharrell
exactly, he already did that.
Yeah.
So through various meanderings of the Sorai, I came upon Halcyon, which both means just happiness, calmness, and it's also like a mythical bird or something. So
yeah, it's like a mythical seabird.
Right. So if anyone now asks me the origin of that title, I immediately go to the more impressive sounding thing, and say that I thought that's what I meant all along. But a lot of my pieces too kind of have a aeronautical or space theme, and that's simply because they have a lot of interesting sounding words. So if you're looking for a piece, I mean, your first impression is the title. So if you have a really interesting sounding word, like I said, an evocative word, then that'll kind of set the mood of the piece before you begin. But yeah, compositionally, it varies for me. Sometimes you find that great title at the beginning, other times it comes right at the end.
Ricardo says, please tell me the address of this website. Do you mean random title generator? Where
Just go to Google.
Just Google random title generator. Or do you mean our websites? Which, shameless plug, if you Google drewphillipshorn.com, that's me. And you're just your name because your name is so unique.
Yes, YOURNAM. No. Yeah.
That's the worst.
You can find our names because you're on our Facebook.
You can.
If you're our friends, you know us.
There you go. And if you're not our friends, be our friends. Aww.
How can they watch our stream if they're not our friends? Well, I guess maybe if you're on there.
Or over there, like.
Oh, right. Because we have lots of different screens going.
Yeah, that's right. So.
And again, also, I just want to say, just as a little side thing, thank you all for joining us.
Please,
we're still going to keep going, but just as a little, whoever's watching right now, like, you're awesome. Thanks for joining us.
Absolutely. Thank you guys for tuning in and supporting us. Because the giveaway is coming.
Oh, yes, soon.
The giveaway.
Maybe after Peregrination? Maybe? I don't know. We'll find out.
I don't know. Then they'll cut out and go eat Taco Bell.
Like, well, I wouldn't blame them.
I wouldn't either.
Yeah. All right, let's talk about some Peregrination.
He means the random one.
Oh, okay.
Just Google random title generator.
Literally.
And it'll give you exactly that. Anyway, and also, again, if you have questions, please ask about composition, about music, about horn, about us, about anything. Anyway,
or our podcast too.
Do we have our podcast? Yeah, random plug for our podcast, The Complete Musician, on iTunes
and YouTube.
And YouTube. Sorry, it's where this YouTube stream is coming from. You go on YouTube and Google and YouTube Cor Moto horn. And our podcast videos should come up. We enjoy doing those. We're kind of new to it, but we wanted to do something that promoted complete musicianship, which we believe is outreach through not only playing and performance, but education, composition, and creativity through a lot of different mediums and ways of performance. So,
and it's really the key to being a successful 21st century musician.
Because to be marketable and to be accessible to a larger portion of people, you need to be good at not just playing anymore. You got to be good at a lot of things. And we think that that's really paramount as a musician, again, in today's society. So anyway, if you guys have questions about that, please ask. We did a podcast a few weeks ago on marketability and stuff. So you should go listen to all those and subscribe and tell us.
They're funny too.
Yeah,
we try to inject some humor. It's not totally dry.
If you don't know us or our interactions, you should know that we very much enjoy very dry humor, and we've created some, some sponsors of the Complete Musician, or some non-official sponsors of the Complete Musician podcast, like the restaurant that is located in somewhere. I can't remember anymore. But it's Cowpoke, Wyoming, Nebraska, Wyomahoma. Is that right?
That's where it is. Yes.
But it's the restaurant I'm Heldenberger.
Yes. Where
not Heldenleben. I'm Heldenberger.
Where your dining experience makes you
a gyro. So that's one of our unofficial sponsors, as well as About the Spit, Drip, and Slip water park for Rashwick players.
Yep. We've also done Smash mouthwash.
That's right, for musicians.
For musicians. And then coming up, I think the next one is the next one is a new taxi service.
Ooh.
That just supported the Complete Musician podcast. We're really excited with you have Uber and you Lyft, but now there's Ride of the Valkyries.
And so you should definitely get them because they're I think their phone number was 555 Goddardammerung.
Yes.
Anyway, so that's our newest one, and there's a gym coming up called Planet Fit Lips, but you just gotta tune in to find out. Anyway, that's our podcast. We have some more YouTube people. Someone said Ricardo said that, and I said he can see Jeff Agrell on the video. Jeff?
Where is he?
Anyway, Jeff is somewhere.
Yeah, he's probably behind this column.
Oh, he's so sneaky. Anyway, Jeff, if you're here, please come out. Anyway, the next piece on the program, we're like halfway through, is called Peregrination. And as I just kind of started talking about it, and
this is going to be longer than our actual recital.
like way longer.
It's already 6:48.
Oh, well.
I'll talk quickly, but you go.
Okay. Anyway, Peregrination is the next piece for horn and piano. I wrote this back in 2014 for our tour that we did, where we went to some universities. We started at Liberty University. We went to James Madison University with Ian Zook, Pat Smith's University over at VCU, and then we performed at the 2014 Southeast Horn Workshop down at UNCG. And so anyway, this piece I wrote for James. Not that I don't write all of them for him to perform, but this one was dedicated specifically to him. But anyway, Peregrination means a journey. And this, when I was just talking a minute ago about piano parts, this part is particularly wicked. And actually, it's not one of those that I know if I have to play it, I have to work on it. Because it's just very jumpy, and when you listen tomorrow night, you'll see that it's fairly complex and difficult. Lots of changing meter and lots of really strange, not bad, just very interesting chords and turns that the piece takes. But the piece marks an expedition. I would think. It almost got the title of something like Everest, because to me it kind of embodies.
Because you're gonna write me up high notes and then I'm just gonna die up there
and then freeze.
Yeah.
And then, no, all your valves will freeze. Hey, my wife is watching. Yay! So anyway, the piece is kind of a mountain-esque kind of journey that it just builds the entire time until the end, which is really fast and furious. But the piece is a lot of fun. It's a really tough piano part. The horn part is not that bad. It does have a bit. This one does involve a little bit of range for the horn player. It does go up to B flat. I think there is a high B flat in it, and then our special edition goes down to a low B flat, but that's not the way the music is actually written. We just do it because it's fun.
Well, in the same vein that people take the low A in Enforay.
Yeah, it's the exact same thing. It just sounds really cool. So you'll have to listen for that and see what that sounds like. But Peregrination is one that we've performed a few times too. That's a lot of fun. I performed it with also some of my students over at Liberty, and they've seemed to enjoy it. So anyway, that's Peregrination.
Cool.
Wicked.
Okay, then that brings us to Penumbra, which is it's penultimate piece.
Which was, yes, and Penumbra was an answer on Jeopardy the other day, and I knew it because of this piece.
Nice. And what does it mean?
It's something about
something with the moon.
It's like the dark side, not the dark side of the moon.
Yes.
It's
Pink Floyd.
We've already talked about Pink Floyd today. Anyway.
So this is Penumbra, and this is actually like you wrote Peregrination for me, this was the one I wrote for you
For that tour.
and for that tour.
Yep.
And another single movement piece, kind of in the same way that Solstice and Equinox are written, mostly melodic but sectional. And the interesting thing here musically, and this kind of goes back to like we were talking about musical inspiration before, is I think what I was listening to at the time was a lot of the E.T. soundtrack by John Williams. And there was this kind of, this motif, this ostinato of sorts, which is essentially an ostinato is a repeating figure, usually melodically and harmonically driven, but it really depends. And in this melodic figure then kind of modulated or tonicized differently and just kind of floated around while this one melody came over top. And so ended up creating a piano part that looks really, kind of, well, more difficult than I'm used to writing for. Just lots of these 16th sextuplet, triplet deals. But the sound of that is hopefully this kind of just ethereal blanket of sound that then the horn part kind of go over top. And I can try to demonstrate that a little bit here. If I can, just for I'll just play it like for a second. You don't need to see me; it's not important.
They all need to see you.
Okay, so the part right before it's a little transition. It's kind of a bang smash moment. So it's this. And then that fades away into this nice little calm. So this kind of just running bit of these 16th notes that just kind of float over top and meander around. Otherwise, the piece is pretty unremarkable, but
That part is really tough. Looks tough.
well, any real pianist could play it. I am not a real pianist, so I just fake it.
Hey, Ricardo says penumbra is a Portuguese word.
Is it really?
I didn't know that. Thank you.
Does it
Ricardo.
have to do with the moon?
Or is that like an American invention?
Yes, the moon is an American invention.
The moon landing was. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Here at The Complete Musician, we promote
Conspiracy theories.
yes, exactly.
No.
So
I want to know what he says.
yeah.
Well, he
there's-
said a lot of notes and well played.
Oh, thank you.
It was well played. That was good.
Yeah.
It was going like
we're
that
getting
one.
used to also like I think there's like a 10-second delay. So
Yeah.
we'll say something and then you'll see it 10 seconds later, and so there'll be a response. So that's streaming. It's fun though.
It's fun.
Getting used to it.
Any more questions or anything?
Yeah,
Anyone has any more questions?
no
or
more
anything?
questions on this
Please
end.
keep asking. Let's see. He says it's the same in English.
Okay.
Cool. That's cool. I didn't know that. And our last piece on the program is our encore. And if you have ever watched or listened to our podcast, you recognize this because this is the last thing that happens before we
Should we
end.
try it?
Go ahead.
Do you want to try it? You have the piano part? Just the last couple of notes?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so this is called a Western fantasy. A Western fantasy was written for one of our first viewers on here. His name is Stefan. He just got married.
Oh,
Congratulations,
yeah.
Stefan.
I think you probably left.
No, he's still around. But Stefan, this was written for him when I was he was a non-major horn player at Iowa when I was teaching, and I was the TA there. And I wrote a bunch of different pieces for all my non-majors so that they could play a recital, and that was really cool for them to do something original. But when I asked all of them what they wanted, Stefan said, "I want something that sounds like a Western, or something that sounded Western-esque." And I don't know if that was because he was listening to Westerns, or he really likes Westerns, or I don't know, but.
He has good tastes.
He has great taste because I said, okay. And so I did all this research about what Westerns sound like. And of course, there's like the Fast and the Furious stuff, but I also thought about like lazy cowboy kind of stuff. And so I wrote this encore that's only a good, I mean, it's like 3 minutes. It's really short. Pat Smith has played this too. He played this when he was over in Stockholm. Yeah. Pat Smith nailed this too. And so this piece is super exciting and kind of technical, but it lies right on the horn. Like, on the horn.
If we're going to demonstrate that, maybe if it goes well, we'll say it lies right on the horn.
Okay.
No, it does.
The runs in it, there's a lot of things that sound difficult because it's got a lot of runs. But one of the things, again, that we do, I think we try to do pretty well, is that we write idiomatically for the horn. And so we know what works because we can do it.
Well, and as we're writing, we try it, we play it. So
absolutely.
If you're writing, have your horn player, have your horn in your hand. If you play other instruments, have that in your hand and put the notes down and then see, does it actually work well? Is this?
And if it doesn't work, then maybe you should rethink.
Make some edits.
or make some edits. That's right.
All it can take is one note change to make something be a lot easier.
So anyway, so the beginning of Western, do you want to play through some of it?
Sure. Let's play. I'm going to play completely cold and, just for your entertainment.
So we're going to play some of Western Fantasy for you, and this is our encore.
And then whatever doesn't go well, I will redact from the stream.
We'll go back 10 seconds in time.
Also, this could very well overload the stream speakers.
So if it's way too loud, we're really sorry.
Yeah. So just headphone alert if this is way too loud. We'll try to be far enough away.
Yeah. But anyway, so this is in 2 sections. The first part of this is kind of a lazy cowboy kind of thing. You're hidden behind the column.
I know, I'll move.
Oh, okay. Well, unless you want to be. This is a kind of a lazy cowboy thing at the start. You're back there with Jeff. And then it goes into this fast and furious, like, da-diggity-da-dee-da kind of thing that's really adventurous and very cowboy-like. I don't know how you describe it.
Cowboy-like.
Cowboy-like. There you go. But as soon as you're done playing, the end of this is what you hear if you tune into our podcast. The last lick of this is just, we play it. It's actually, there's about 1,000 videos that we have of the first notes of the day of us warming up on the lick.
Yeah, except I probably won't be able to do it today.
So we'll say, since we're playing cold. But anyway, so this is a Western Fantasy.
We're playing the whole thing?
Yeah.
Oh, no. Okay. All right, fine.
Here we go. And...
There it is.
There's the end. Hooray! So that's our encore to our recital. So yeah, that last lick is we do that a lot, and seem to send that back and forth
Just fun.
just for fun, because it's just
It's
yeah.
happy.
Well, it's
happy.
minor, but it's
But it's a happy kind of sad.
it is, and it ends on that big high C that we enjoy. We hope, was that quality okay? I don't know who's like listening or watching.
I don't think it matters.
No, it was probably like way overloaded. I have no idea.
Okay,
what's going. It's
no more questions.
7:02.
So yeah, let's wrap this thing up.
If anyone has any questions, please ask, because we're gonna start wrapping up really soon. So if we're gonna start with our giveaway, or do our giveaway.
So I think the best way to do this is, if you're listening and you want to be included in the giveaway,
you need to comment like
let us know
now.
Just
Say here or hi or present, and from this point on, let's give like a couple minutes because of delay and stuff like that. So if you want to be included, comment here.
Yeah.
Here. Say
And
here.
again, this is as thanks for joining us tonight and for sticking with us through this first live stream event. And if this is something that's interesting, then we'll be happy to do it again. And we might do some future podcasts live as well, because I think we could do a Google Hangout remotely.
Yeah.
And then, because this is, who knows when we'll actually be in the same room again.
Again, yeah, I'm not sure.
For a while.
Yeah. I'm not sure. Let's see.
But yeah, our giveaway, if you've joined us recently, is
just joined
one person, our lucky winner drawn from a hat, will get a piece of music written by us.
For them.
For you.
Yes. For anyone over here. So it'll be dedicated to you, and we're going to co-write it, and it's going to be fun.
It's actually, I think, really it's going to be, besides the fact that we work with each other in editing music, it's going to be the first official like Cor Moto piece.
So that's like a really cool thing. So we have a few people that have said, so Ileana just said, are we going to live stream the recital? Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, we're gonna live stream that. Actually, hopefully here on Facebook. Yeah. And then on YouTube.
If we have enough devices.
Right. Yeah.
Audio quality will also be suspect.
Yeah.
It might be actually terrible. So we'll try.
Yeah,
You might just, again, headphone warning when that recital does come, because I mean, you probably heard the same thing. A lot of live stream recitals. The minute the horn starts coming in, the microphones overload. Everything
it's really crazy. Yeah.
So,
let's see. And so I'm just looking and seeing what's happening. Again, if people are watching and they want to be included, then please comment here, or just comment something.
Yeah.
On it, so that we know.
That was his comment.
Yeah, that was his comment.
Okay.
So Ricardo, yeah. So we've got a few people in already. We're just making sure that if you want to be included in the giveaway, you got to make sure to let us know. So we have, we got them. What about over there? We got some people.
No one yet.
Oh. Let's see. We can wait a little bit.
Yeah.
Or if
maybe I'll play a little background music. I'll go play some music.
We can give a little bit more.
I'll do a
play
little
more of the recital if you want.
I'll do a little episodes.
Do you want me to play?
You guys keep tabs of who's.
Oh, okay. I gotta keep tabs. So James is gonna play some background music. But again, if people, Steve Cohen, I think, wants to be on because he's got to hop off. So, okay. Let's see. Oops. Let's see. He's playing this background music. Again, if you want to be entered in the giveaway for us to write an original piece, Eliana says, don't tell anyone about it. Let us know that you're watching, because we have to know. Oh gosh. Okay, there's like a bunch of people. Okay, hold on. All right, we're getting everyone in. Make sure that you're commenting and letting us know that you want to be in on this. Ricardo said we should play some of his music.
Some of his music?
Yeah.
Well, he does write great music.
He does write good music. Ricardo, I have your 18 books, and they're so much fun to play.
We're just being really selfish and playing only our own music on this recital.
Right, I know. We're being super selfish. Let's see. Hold on, we have people. I'm sorry to get this. Okay.
Actually, I don't know why am I playing this. I should play like.
Yeah, background. We need some. Beautiful. Okay, everyone. What's happening is I'm writing down all these names so we can put you in on the on the drawing and making sure that you're in here. Let's see. Oh, a non-horn players
on Michael Jackson's "Beat It."
Oh, we're taking requests now. Jonathan Allen.
Let's see. Cross buds. Oh man.
Play Jeopardy.
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 Oh,
there you
okay.
go. He knows that. I'm writing down people's names for this. Here you go. You got keep going. Let's see. Okay. I don't know if people over here are doing it. Non-horn players are absolutely eligible.
Oh yeah,
absolutely. Yeah. If you're a non-horn player, you're absolutely eligible for this.
I feel like I don't think I can play the Jeopardy theme because we probably have to pay royalties for it. So I think I've already done too much.
I think you probably already cost us our lives.
So no one tell anyone that we played that.
Okay, no one tell anyone. Okay, I'm still writing down names. Okay, how much? How much time before we cut it off? Because still people are commenting.
Are they?
Oh, a few. Yeah.
Soon.
Let's see. Hold on. Because I'm down here right now.
Oh, wow.
Hold on. Because you had a bunch of comments like you.
Oh, fantastic.
Yay.
Thanks for joining us, everyone.
Jonathan Allen is satisfied.
Oh, okay.
That's awesome. So we'll put people in. You have to come in. Let's see. For this, how long until we cut it off?
How about
3 minutes?
I would say 1 more minute.
2 minutes. We're striking the difference.
Okay.
2 minutes. We're striking the difference. So we've got comments. Let's see. Yeah, if you're a.
Okay, I can write down names.
Okay, you write down names because I'm looking at your thing. Let's see. You're live now.
Oh man, a lot of you are commenting for the first time. I didn't know you were watching. Thanks for watching, everybody.
Yeah, thanks everyone who's watching. It's really awesome. And if you want to be joined in our thing that we're going to co-write a piece for you, please comment.
And then come watch our recital tomorrow.
And come watch our recital where we're going to live stream it. Yay!
5 o'clock Central, 6 o'clock Eastern time.
Yes. Thank you guys for watching. And this will be archived too, but you won't be entered in the drawing if you don't say something, because we're going to write you something for free, which is actually a pretty good deal. I think getting an original piece of music written for you and dedicated for something.
Well, it'll be fun for us, and hopefully it'll be.
We'll have a good time doing it. So let's see.
Are there any more?
Hold on. I'm going to do a reminder really. We still have another minute.
Oh, okay. I'm not going to remind anyone.
Oh, well, fine.
All of my friends know. They all responded.
My friends didn't say anything. Are they really friends?
All right.
Maybe it's messed up. My computer is super old, so that would not surprise me.
Computer is old. And we still have 5 people on Google Hangouts. Which, yeah, this live stream I think will be archived on Google Hangouts. But then if you try to comment on that one saying that you're here, you'll just feel silly.
We'll probably do this again at some point. Yeah, for yours, I had to scroll down. Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's done.
Okay.
I think that's pretty much getting close.
Let's see. But there's no. Let me just check and make sure like anything else isn't doing anything. Let's see. We're checking like weird stuff like that.
I'm gonna start tearing up the names.
Do it. Start tearing up names. You only got a few more seconds.
I have scissors.
And we're gonna draw out of my really disgusting, nasty hat.
That's gross.
I'll show you my hat in a minute. It's really nasty, but it's well, we're almost done with our.
Oh, did we specify?
Ileana says you should badly sing Jeopardy, and you might get away with that copyright issue. Everything I do, is singing wise, is bad. So. Yeah. Anyway, what'd you say?
I was gonna say, did we specify that if people get the piece that we have to then write it for their instrument?
Oh,
could we write you a piece for like bagpipes?
Oh, I guess it does have to be for your
Turn those
major
up.
instrument. We have to put another one in. Jared just said.
Oh, okay.
Put another. Good. So the cutoff is almost here. You've got like 30 more seconds. So.
Well, and then we have to wait.
And then we have
the
to.
lag.
Oh yeah, that's right. So you've got just a little bit more for an original piece of music. Hooray!
And while we're waiting, I hope you're all having a good evening.
Yeah,
Thanks for taking time to join.
to join us for this hour. Our recital won't be this long. We've talked. Actually, I'm pretty sure I talked longer than some of the pieces go. So that's
the way it goes.
kind of how it goes. But yeah,
We didn't say this would be a concise pre-concert stream.
No, we didn't. But we're excited that you guys are watching and appreciate it. And we really hope that you tune into our
I'm gonna start crinkling this up.
Oh, okay. Okay, so everyone, we're drawing out of. You don't have to touch this. We're drawing out of my disgusting hat that says UNC Wilmington, which, if you know me, then
gotta put these in.
then this is where my parents went to school, and I never went. And it's really gross and yellow because I've had it for like 10
And
years.
apparently don't know what a washing machine is.
And it's a white hat though. It like sticks out like a sore thumb. But in undergrad, I was like, I feel like I was known for this. Look at that. That's really gross. Okay, so
I'm glad
drawing
that
up
for
the
our
names.
first live introduction to the world, you bring a nasty old hat.
It's the only hat I own.
Okay,
Okay,
here we go.
it's going into the nasty hat.
They're all in there.
So
Promise.
the cutoff
Make
is
sure that the hat is in frame all the time, right? So we prove that we're being fair and unbiased and equal.
Oh, I can do this.
Good. You can hear it. There's names in there. They're rattling around.
So we're gonna write this person a piece.
Okay.
Oh, you get to draw. Let's see. Someone said next time we should bring tacos. Yeah, it looks disgusting. All right, you're drawing. They're
I am
all
drawing.
they're
Okay,
all
I am
shaken
drawing, but you are reading. Okay, ready?
no. Here you draw and you read.
Okay, here we go.
Here goes. This is
Here
the
we go.
lucky winner.
The lucky winner
Is
is, oh man,
I'm so
Suspense is
excited. This
killing
is
me.
terrifying.
Ileana Martinez.
Yay! You win. Yeah, Ileana wins.
Congratulations.
Woo! And she's watching on YouTube.
That's you.
You won! Hooray! So we're gonna
Congratulations.
write you something. So if you could email with us. So
Yeah, I think I have your email.
Oh, nice. Okay, well then we'll
Somewhere.
get in contact, and so we'll have that to you, and we'll talk details. You're gonna get that really soon.
I don't know if it's really soon.
You're gonna get it. Like we'll
You will
talk.
get it.
You will get it. It's you won the yay. She's excited. Yay.
Awesome.
Anyway, thanks for watching, you guys. We really appreciate it. And
Yeah.
I guess that's it.
Feel free to check out our podcast, The Complete Musician.
Our
which is Our podcast. Complete Musician on iTunes and YouTube. Our
That's right.
YouTube site is Cor Moto. because that is the name of our horn duo, the Cor Moto horn duo.
Right.
And
Make sure if you want to know more about the pieces that we're playing tomorrow night, or you want to like get a kind of a hearing of them before you do that, you visit our individual websites, which is jamesvegas.com, and then mine is drewphillipshorn.com, and then you already said our website is cormotohorn.com. Cormotohorn.com. Again, you know our emails, so contact us there. If you haven't liked our Facebook page, you can go like it. Subscribe to our podcast on iTunes, and subscribe to us on YouTube, because not only do we put out our podcasts where we try and talk about things that are pretty relevant to being a musician today, but we also put up funny commercials for our non-official sponsors. And if you don't know what those are, go and check them out, because we think they're pretty humorous. But anyway, we thank you guys for watching so much. And please come back tomorrow and listen to our recital.
We won't be able to respond to questions then, but we'd love to have you join us.
We would. And the recital is at 5 p.m. Central Time and 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Mhm.
So,
And that's on the campus of University of Central Missouri. If you're in the area, you're welcome to join us live. And actually, just to thank the University of Central Missouri for hosting Drew this week.
Yeah.
He's working with all the students this week.
I had a great time already.
Masterclass tomorrow. And it's great having you here, and
Yeah.
looking forward to tomorrow. And thank you all again for joining us.
Thank you again. If you have any questions, let us know. And we hope to see you guys or to hear from you tomorrow.
Yep.
So anyway,
Have a good night.
Have a good night, you guys.
Bye.
Bye.